ago, he shouldered an old backpack, walked past his memories, and set his compass for somewhere else. He called it relocation therapy, a remedy found in horizons instead of hometowns.
Welcome to Cuento Resonante, Episode 20, Relocation Therapy. There's a term in psychology called relocation therapy. Sometimes a change in your physical environment and/or a change in your routine can improve your mental well-being. Ironically, in psychology, the opposite effect of relocation can happen, and that the mere fact of moving to a different place can cause depression, known as relocation depression, similar to a child being homesick while at summer camp. This podcast episode is about the positive effects of relocation, which is why relocation as a positive force is described as a therapy. Why do you think vacations have remained a constant tradition over the years? On a vacation, you vacate yourself from your normal physical environment as well as change your normal physical routine. With humans being creatures of habit and routine, it is very hard to change habits and routine, even when those habits and routines might need to be changed for our own welfare and the welfare of others. Your current location or routine may seem normal because it is where you are and what you do day in and day out. But what seems normal to you may not be the best routine for your life. Changing a location or routine that one considers normal is much more difficult than one might expect. When I say relocation, I am going to include also changing routines. I will quote a description of the word relocation in the definition of relocation by vocabulary.com, which is as follows. When you look at relocation, you notice the word locate, which comes from the Latin word locus, meaning place. Then look at the affixes. Re means again, and ion means the act of. When you put it all together, relocation means the act of placing again. If you refer to your relocation, you're describing putting yourself in a new place. End of quote. In that quote from vocabulary.com, notice how they define the entire word, relocation, as the act of placing again. Act means there has to be action involved. Just the mere fact that action is being taken toward a solution, goal, or destination can be tremendously therapeutic. Of course, I would venture to add that wise action moving toward a solution, goal, or destination is also a key ingredient for successful relocation therapy. Synonyms in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary for relocate denote taking some type of action. The following are synonyms to the word relocation: budge, dislocate, displace, disturb, move, remove, reposition, shift, transfer, transpose. All these are action words that will create change when these words are acted upon. Two theories of why relocation is needed sometimes is theory number one. When there are destructive patterns of behavior and thought, relocating to new surroundings forces you to adopt new patterns of behavior and thought. Having new relationships, new surroundings, and objectives necessary to cope with a new location is much like a rail switch that guides a train from one railway to a different railway. Ever hear the term, asleep at the switch? This term, asleep at the switch, originated in the 19th century when railroading was the prominent way of moving large items cross-country as well as carrying many passengers. The trainman's job was to pull levers to switch trains to different tracks, to set the trains on another course, and even to keep trains from colliding with each other. If a trainman neglected his duty of pulling the right levers at the right time to switch trains to a different track, then they would be accused of being asleep at the switch. Just as for a trainman to be asleep at the switch could prove detrimental to trains and passengers, you being asleep at the switch as to failing to make needed changes and relocations in your life, when warranted, can also be detrimental to yourself and others. And theory number two, why relocation is sometimes needed or wanted, is that relocating is just part of what man does, like being ingrained in man's DNA. Hunter-gatherers were nomadic, having to travel to make use of different foods and climates across vast areas of land. Being nomadic was just a way of life. About 12,000 years ago, once man learned they could grow their own food and not have to travel as far and work as hard to get the food, Man began to settle in one place rather than constantly relocating to find food. Archaeologists noticed beginning about 12,000 years ago, bones of man that were found started to be lighter, meaning less travel, less work, due to now staying in one place by learning how to raise their own food. Some theorized that since prehistoric man was most likely nomadic, much longer than current mankind in recorded history, staying in one place, the need to relocate is just part of man's genetic makeup. Sometimes you just need a change of environment, a change in what you're doing. If you ever feel like you're in a rut and not going anywhere, all it might take is a good dose of relocation therapy. It might not necessarily mean physically moving to a different location, but merely a change in what you're doing. A quote from many years ago went something like this: "There's more in 1 mile than I can discover in a lifetime." If you feel you're getting nowhere and generally not happy about your current situation, just throwing a switch to a different routine, even if you're not physically moving to a different location, can make a difference for the better. Relocation therapy can be as simple as just venturing out to new or rarely visited places, even if nearby. This subtle change in environment or routine can offer fresh perspectives, break destructive patterns, and improve mental well-being. Sometimes the smallest steps, like exploring a new path or neighborhood, serve as powerful acts of therapy, helping reset the mind and inviting renewal without needing a faraway move. Okay, now that I have talked about relocation therapy being good for us, what are you to do about getting relocation therapy? Start out by planning out your relocation or change routines in your current physical location. A study published in the journal Applied Research in Quality of Life showed that the highest levels of happiness were derived from actually planning a trip. The anticipation of an upcoming journey can many times be more enjoyable than the journey itself. Even if the trip you planned was never made, you receive happiness just by planning a trip. I would venture to say that if you plan out life's activities, you can also receive happiness while in the planning stage. It takes action, practice, and effort to get all those thoughts from your mind written down somewhere as action steps that are organized and prioritized chronologically, where items will be completed at certain times on certain dates. Once you make a habit of planning out relocation and changes in your routine, you'll find that the mere fact of writing down your plans will not only help you focus and condense your thoughts to writing, but will lead you to necessary to do actions you haven't even thought of yet, simply because your written plan allows you to see what to-do item is needed next. I suggest you try using a mind map to help plan out relocation or changes you would like to make in your life. Using a mind map allows you to have a manageable progression of items required to complete your goal. Divide and conquer any difficult task. Break each task into as many steps as necessary to make it more doable and more manageable. As long as there is forward measurable progress, you will arrive. A mind map you can use is called Simple Mind, available for the PC and Mac in a free and paid version from the website simplemind.eu. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus said the following: "The only constant in life is change." End of quote. One of the hardest things to do is to accept and adapt to change. Two different people may react to a similar change differently, with one person adapting and accepting the change, and the other person unable to adapt and accept the change. If not already, most of us, sometime during our life, will experience great sadness, grief, desperation, and feel there's no way out. You just have to keep pushing ahead, even rejoicing and giving thanks for the blessings you do have, until you break out on the other side of that sadness, grief, and desperation. Robert Frost, an American poet, said the following: "The best way out is always through." End of quote. You might have heard the saying, "You can't leave your problems behind," implying that you cannot run away from your problems because they will follow you. My experience is that you can indeed leave many of your problems behind simply by changing your mindset, changing your routine, and yes, even changing your physical location. Relocation therapy is not only changing of your physical location, but changing your routine. Your current routine may not be necessarily what people might call bad habits, but your daily routine may not be pushing you, and people close to you, forward to a better place. So, if you've had an inner desire to change, whether locations, routine, careers, etc. I will not be one to criticize you. I will not be one to tell you that you cannot run away from your problems or that you're doing a lot of activity, making changes, just to block out unpleasant events that happened in your life. What I will do is to encourage you to make wise choices when making changes to your life. If you're making wise choices and making changes, and some may accuse you of running from your problems, just know that you are not necessarily running away from something, but you are running to something. Running to a better climate, better environmental surroundings, new relationships, different cultures. Running to be a missionary in a foreign land or to help those in need where your help is needed. Running to discover new things and places, etc. Pursuing changes in your life that you believe will bring greater good to yourself, those closest to you, and even all of humanity is truly a worthy and meaningful goal to strive toward, despite the possibility of earning less or no money as a result of relocating or making those changes. Changing your thinking is the first step in relocation therapy. By shifting your inner landscape, you unlock new paths for your outer journey. Renewal begins not with the place you move to, but with the way you choose to accept each step of your journey as a stepping stone to a purposeful and fulfilling life. This profound transformation starts with making wise choices, grounded in intention and self-awareness. Relocation therapy, changing physical locations and/or altering routines, is an act of courage that demands reflection and planning, not merely reaction. Wise choices form the bridge between the desire for change and meaningful growth. Relocation is more than moving to a new space. It is the act of placing again. It involves deliberate action toward creating better circumstances. However, without a conscious shift in mindset, relocation can falter, leading to feelings of disorientation or even relocation depression. Changing your thinking is what prevents this. It opens your mind to new possibilities, helps release destructive patterns, and fosters resilience in the face of uncertainty. Effective change requires more than physical movement. It demands mental commitment. Planning your relocation and routine thoughtfully, setting clear goals, and breaking down tasks into manageable steps helps translate intention into action. This structured approach strengthens focus while reducing stress from changes in your location and routine. At the same time, cultivating gratitude and openness nurtures emotional healing and enables you to adapt gracefully. These wise choices in thought and behavior elevate relocation from a mere shift in place to a transformative therapy for mind, soul, and body. In essence, making wise choices in both thinking and action empowers you to shape your own renewal. By choosing how you perceive your journey and wisely directing your steps, you turn relocation into a source of strength, growth, and hope. The interplay of changing your inner narrative and aligning your outward actions creates a powerful synergy. True relocation therapy that paves a path not only to new locations, but to a better version of yourself. You may think relocation therapy is just about making yourself better. The truth is, on your journey, showing acts of kindness and treating others the way you want to be treated is an important part of relocation therapy. It helps you realize that it is better to give than to receive, and the reward lies in the giving. Time is short, life is fleeting. The only thing you can take with you is what you give away. The waves generated by acts of kindness ripple on, as those who receive kindness are inspired to repeat it. Showing acts of kindness is, in itself, the reward. Unselfish giving, offered generously and without expectation of reward, will make the journey worthwhile, not only for you, but for others you meet along your way. Wise choices awaken clear thinking. Clear thinking shapes thoughtful planning. Thoughtful planning drives deliberate action. And together, choices, thinking, planning, and action form the foundation of relocation therapy, turning relocation therapy into transformation. If you consider planet Earth as your home planet, then you're never really running away from home, but just simply moving to a different location of your home, planet Earth. We are all one family at our home, traveling on this spaceship we call Earth our home. So, when you really think about it, we all live in the same place, planet Earth, under the same sky. Whether or not, all humans, being as one, living under the same sky, means humans can live in perfect peace and harmony with each other, is unlikely. However, there is no denying that we are all humans, living as one, on this one spaceship called planet Earth, and it is up to each of us to treat others as we would like to be treated. The fictional story, Relocation Therapy, captures the profound journey of a man who became a traveler. Leaving behind familiar walls filled with painful memories, he embraces what he calls relocation therapy, stepping into new places and perspectives, seeking healing for mind, soul, and body to escape the confines of his past. With every step he takes and every path he walks, through towns, forests, and forgotten trails, he discovers that true renewal comes not just from changing location, but from the kindness shared and the connections made along the way. This story, paired with its reflective song and themes of journey, hope, and growth, beautifully illustrates how moving outward can spark change within, offering solace, wisdom, and the chance to start anew. Now, on with the story, Relocation Therapy.
He was not born a traveler. Once he had a place, 4 sturdy walls, a yard shaded by sycamores, a long shelf cluttered with things that each told a story. But stories sometimes become wounds, and the reminders that lingered in every corner cut too deep. He needed something those walls could never offer. So long ago, he shouldered an old backpack, walked past his memories, and set his compass for somewhere else. He called it relocation therapy, a remedy found in horizons instead of hometowns. With every train ride, dusty trail, highway, and byway, he left behind the objects and echoes of the past. What he sought was never quite clear, except that he believed joy, hope, and wonderful people were waiting just beyond the next bend. He believed in the world's beauty and in its kindness and optimism, that he would find what was missing in his life if he kept journeying on, not sure where to, but just kept journeying on. And so he did journey on. He wandered from town to town, sea to sea, shore to shore, forest glades to desert dawns, rarely revisiting the same place twice, not by design, but because his feet longed for newness. The unexpected became routine, and his heart grew lighter each time he gave a smile, a helping hand, or simply listened to another story. He slowly learned that joy sprouted when showing acts of kindness. When he was giving more so than when he was receiving, and giving, he grew whole again. Strangely, as years meandered on, he met others like himself, restless souls who also wandered, chasing solace and a place to belong by journeying on. These friends, scattered by the wind, always seemed to appear when he needed them most, as if fate drew their wandering roots together. One cold night, his melancholy and weariness pressed heavy on his shoulders. He saw the glimmer of firelight deep within a secluded forest. An aroma of wood smoke and fresh brewed coffee curled through the air. Then, could it be? The distant strums of a guitar and the soulful cry of a harmonica called him closer. Notes swirling together like memories. Drawing nearer, he could hardly believe his eyes. There, around the glowing coals, sat 2 friends he hadn't seen for years. He had written their songs once, sung them onto the wind while harmonica and guitar painted the night. Now, as if not a day had passed, they asked him to join, to see if their new tune might inspire him to write a song. He sat listening, Words rising with the fire's warmth and fading with its smoke, until at last he sang this song. Here we sit beneath the starlit sky. My two friends play tunes, my mind flies high. A harmonica sighs, soft and low. An old guitar strum chords I don't know. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carried me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. The moonlight dances on the flames, casting shadows, whispering names of forgotten journeys in distant lands of the hourglass running out of sand. People I've known, they are truly missed. I've never ever felt like this. It's hard to hold back the tears as I recall memories over the years. Not sure I can go on without this song. With friends, stories, and songs, I'll journey on. I'll journey on. The journey is my home. I'll journey on. I'll tell my story and sing my song. Stronger now, I'll journey on. I'll journey on. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carrying me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. No need for verses, no scripted lines. These notes and chords, like tangled vines, bind us close beyond everything feels right. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carrying me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. The fire fades, but still it glows. In every song, the friendship grows. The words may falter, the songs remain beneath the moonlight's soft refrain.
This concludes today's podcast episode. The remainder of this episode will feature the songs Far Away, the instrumental New Horizons, Relocation Therapy, Blue Skies, and Gratitude and Grace. You can find the transcription of the story and the lyrics to these songs in the description area of this podcast episode. Thank you for listening. Now on with the music.
Here we sit beneath the starlit sky. My two friends play tunes, my mind flies high. A harmonica sighs, soft and low. An old guitar strum chords I don't know. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carried me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. casting shadows, whispering names of forgotten journeys in distant lands of the hourglass, running out of sand. People I've known, they are truly missed. I've never ever felt like this. It's hard to hold back the tears as I recall memories over the years. Not sure I can go on without this song. With friends, stories, and songs, I'll journey on. I'll journey on. The journey is my home. I'll journey on. I'll tell my story and sing my song. Stronger now. I'll journey on. I'll journey on. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carrying me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. No need for verses, no scripted lines. These notes and chords, like tangled vines, bind us close beyond the night. In this song, everything feels right. I don't know the words or what to say. The music's carrying me far away to places where the wild winds roam. I'm grateful for this night, this campfire. I am home. The fire fades, but still it glows. In every song, the friendship grows. The words may falter, the songs remain beneath the moonlight's soft refrain. I set out with a backpack on my shoulders, not running away, but walking towards something new. To receive relocation therapy by changing my point of view. It is the practice of stepping out of the old into the new, forcing new thoughts and routines. It is movement not just across the land, but within the heart, soul and mind, yeah. Every step I take is part of the therapy. Every mile is a quiet teacher. Changing your elevation changes your point of view. Seeing the big picture, old thoughts no longer true. The journey teaches you more than the destination. Wisdom grows in each step taken and every challenge faced. The horizon holds out its hand, offering hope to a brighter tomorrow. Why do I walk? Because the old places held me still. The streets I knew were tied to sorrow, to habits I could not break, to voices that would not let me rest. I walk because distance can give me freedom. I walk because the world is larger than my pain. I walk because hope waits somewhere ahead, and I cannot change by standing still. No, I cannot change by standing still. No, I cannot change by standing still. How does relocation help? By creating space for new routines, by offering new faces and fresh air, by replacing old patterns with possibility. Each sunrise provides a new beginning. The walls that bound me fall away. I breathe again in the light of day. Through motion comes tranquility. That's how this therapy carries me. They say you cannot run away from your problems, and it's true for some, but not for all. You can run from bad situations, both physical and emotional. But some troubles inside your mind, soul, and body will follow. However, relocation can reshape your thinking. Change your thinking and you become a better you, no matter where you are or what has followed you from your past. Change your way of thinking, you open doors to new possibilities. The world appears entirely new. Your future unfolds in brighter colors. Watch problems turn into opportunities. Your actions build a better tomorrow, and strength comes from places you never looked before. Relocation brings new thoughts, new routines, adventures, and friends. It pushes you to start again, to adapt to fresh surroundings and faces, to see life from a different view. It gives you the chance to begin anew, this time making wiser choices, without the weight of past reminders holding you back where you once were. Relocation is an escape. It's turning toward new horizons. A breath of fresh air, a space where mind, soul, and body can heal and be renewed. Journey on. Let go of the past. What you give away is what will last. How you treat others shapes who you'll be. Show acts of kindness at every opportunity. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Acts of kindness ripple on with kindness repeated. Life is fleeting, so walk on steadfast. What you give away is what will last. Carry little, travel light, journey on. Carry little, travel light, journey on. Journey on, journey on, journey on, journey on, journey on. Time is short and the journey long, longer still if you go along. Blue skies around the next bend, another place, another friend. Get you down. Better to smile than to frown. Blue skies, blue skies around the next bend. The sky is bluer than blue. The sun is brighter than bright. Keep moving on with all your might. to smile and to frown. Blue skies, blue skies, around the next bend. Time is short and the journey long, longer still if you go along. Blue skies around the next bend, another place, another friend. Don't let life get you down. Better to smile than to frown. Blue skies, blue skies, around the next bend. The sky is bluer than blue. The sun is brighter than bright. Keep moving on with all your might. I walk through forests deep and wide, where quiet thoughts and dreams reside. The song of birds, the wind's soft sigh, a treasures money cannot buy. I feel the earth beneath my feet, new paths and faces I gladly greet. And in the stars that light the night, I find a peace that feels so right. No gold or silver in my hand, just kindness found in every land. A smile, a word, a gentle face, and moments that time cannot erase. Kind people full of love and thoughtfulness, unselfishly showing acts of kindness. The rustling trees, the ocean's roar, beauty is everywhere, from shore to shore. watched the rain fall soft and slow. One felt its grace, the other woe. One could see the beauty, the other blind. Simple things for free, some never see or find. With every step, a new surprise, the world revealed through open eyes. In simple things, my soul takes flight, a traveler bathed in nature's light. Each meadow, mountain, and friendly face I greet with gratitude and grace, embracing moments as they come. In every place my soul finds home.